A nice win for the Utah Jazz. That's now 5 in a row against the Houston Rockets. This is the Hoops Nerd postgame show. Guys, that game was about the most going through the motions game I think I've ever seen. That was the Utah Jazz knowing they were going to win, wanting to win. The Houston Rockets knowing they were going to lose and wanting to lose. Let's talk about the Houston Rockets first before we talk about the Utah Jazz. First off, if you go to, if you are at a computer right now, you can go to the NBA.com website and you can look at the box score for this game. They do not even have a picture for one of the Rockets starters tonight. That is the condition of the Houston Rockets at this point, and it's the absolute correct position that the Houston Rockets should have, because the Houston Rockets need to get a top 4 spot in the draft or they lose their pick, and that would be absolutely disastrous. And the Rockets right now, I believe, have the worst record in the league, playing against the Utah Jazz, who have the best record in the league. This was the best thing possible for the Rockets. We could talk about their players, but I don't know if the Houston Rockets GM really even cares that much. Kenyon Martin Jr. Has actually some nice potential. He scored 27 tonight, actually, which is pretty interesting stuff. 11 for 19 from the field. He also scratched Bojan, so he needs to clip his fingernails. But 4 for 8 from 3, that's nice. That might be a nice little nice pickup for them. Kenyon Martin Jr., that's one of those things when you're going through one of these seasons. It happened with the Philadelphia 76ers when they were tanking back in, 3-4 years ago. Also, apparently last year when they traded away all their good players, like trading away Mikal Bridges. But, that's how the Philadelphia 76ers are run. But anyways, when you're tanking, you give a lot of guys a lot of chances. You probably bring on guys with athleticism and things like that just to give them some run and see. And you know what? You'll get a nice pick in the draft, because if the Rockets get top 4, it ensures they keep their pick, because they could have 3 teams leapfrog them, which is even more possible now with how the lottery runs, and still get that top 4 pick. So this is exactly what the Rockets want to do. That's why you have players like Anthony Lamb, who does not even have a picture on the NBA.com website. Things are bad when you see the NBA logo next to one of your starters. That's called not going well for your squad if you're trying to win games. But anyways, good job, Rockets. That's exactly what you want to do. Nothing else to say about the Rockets, guys. That game was basically going through the motions. I don't think a lot of people will watch that game. I don't think a lot of people are going to watch this post game, because no one cared. Everyone was going to knew what was going to happen, and that's what happens with tanking. That's why the NBA is trying to stop that. But it is what it is, and it's the right thing to do if you're a team like the Rockets. All right, before we get to the Utah Jazz, let's talk about Manscaped.com. Support for Manscaped.com, or support for the Hoops Nerd channel. Sorry, Manscaped. Support for the Hoops Nerd channel is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming champions of the world. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. The Jazz were on a 4-game winning streak. They're on a 5 now, so they're kind of on the 4.0. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code HOOPSNERD at manscaped.com. Guys, imagine shaving with a sleek, well-designed, and optimized trimmer that makes shaving time your favorite time in the bathroom. It actually is pretty cool. When you know it's time to shave, it's actually kind of nice to get in that shower and use the trimmer. And you know what? We're talking about ball handling right now. Our baller of the night is the minivan, George Niang. George Niang is our Manscaped baller of the night. I will say, guys, I'm in a 1-month period. I need 10 people to use a Manscaped code and go buy one of these, and I get a full-on contract. I'm like one of the Houston Rockets players playing for a contract, man. If any of you are looking to get one, 20% off plus free shipping, use the Hoops Nerd promo code. It would help me out. I really appreciate it. I'm very appreciative of you if you did that. All right. Baller of the night. George Niang. George Niang has become absolutely an essential part of this team. I think that the Jazz need to match whatever he gets in the offseason. George Niang tonight was 6 for 8 from 3, 9 for 12 from the field, and not all those 9 for 12, inside buckets were easy. He has that little hook shot. I did some research last year because everyone was talking so much garbage about George Niang, and I was trying to tell people, guys, this guy is good. When George Niang's on the floor and he's playing with guys like Ed Davis and Emmanuel Mudiay and Jeff Green, who doesn't even want to be here, it's going to affect his ability to play well. You got George Niang right now playing with the starters. He's shooting 46% from 3 now with the starters. Guess what? When he's around better players, he's a better player. What's his number one skill? Spot up 3-point shooting. If he gets that catch and shoot, he's burying it. And tonight he's up to now 46% from 3. George Niang's fantastic. He's one of the most unsung, unknown players in the NBA, making a massive impact for the Jazz, who have now won 5 in a row. George Niang, the minivan, is absolutely killing it. And there's no reason to think he can't keep this up. Tonight, let's see, 24 points, which I believe is a career high for him. 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. The guy is just great. He just is. And he's become just an absolute knockdown 3-point shooter, and you can't ask for anything better. And honestly, he's making things interesting for the Jazz in the offseason, because if he gets a $10 million a year offer, I think you have to honor that. And maybe the Jazz need to make some moves to make, I don't know. But it would really suck to lose George Niang, because he's a big-time shooter, and you can make things, it would be really nice. Now, maybe the Jazz can lock him down for like a 4-year, $8 million a year contract. For everything everyone's saying about George Niang and, he's playing so much better in the year, guess what? He's been around 40% from 3 every year of his career. And he's not really playing much different this year than he has any other year. 3 years ago, he was in the playoffs contributing to the Ricky Rubio playoff series. He was really nice. Or was it 2 years ago? He's got playoff experience, and he played nice in those playoff games. This guy is legit, and he's been legit for 3 years. You just have not had him playing around nice talent. All of a sudden, he's around Derek Favors, Jordan Clarkson, Mike Conley playing with the second unit. There's a lot of times where he's playing with Rudy Gobert this year, because Rudy Gobert's been playing with the second unit a lot. Lo and behold, he's shooting lights out and playing really well and looks really good. We shouldn't be surprised, guys. I saw this coming a while ago. We talked about it. I got the receipts. So it's nice to see George Niang playing really well. He's fantastic and just an incredible role player. One of the best role players in the league, honestly, in terms of just catch and shoot threes. He's fantastic. Rudy Gobert is just the defensive player of the year. There's just no questions asked. 6 for 9 tonight. Nice. 13 points, 14 rebounds for Rudy. 3 blocks. I mean, what else can you say? He's just incredible. And his presence on the floor just impacts every aspect of the game. Absolutely dominating in every aspect. Offensively, he's just an absolute force, because he just puts so much pressure on the rim. He's not doing things like Anthony Davis, but his presence at the rim and them having to guard him because he's just a lob threat on every play forces them to be honest, and it creates space for everyone else. And so Bojan Bogdanovic has room to work. And Bojan has a really nice pull-up mid-range game that he uses really well. Bojan's got a nice little floater. And so we shouldn't be too surprised that Bojan comes back tonight and has another nice night. 20 points, 7 for 16 from the field for a solid 43%. His 3 wasn't falling quite as well tonight, 1 for 4, but 5 for 6 from the free throw line. Part of that is because he's playing with Rudy Gobert, who creates space. Rudy Gobert impacts everything, whether it's him with the ball in his hands or him creating space and gravity for other players so that they can come out and just do their thing. He's incredible that way. Really great stuff. You know what, guys? This was such a go through the motion game. One thing that was interesting in that first half, we saw Trent Forrest go 0 for 3 from 3, and multiple times he was just open in the corner, and the Rockets weren't even guarding him. And that's kind of the double-edged sword with with Trent Forrest. What is this? Is this a sword? I don't know. What am I doing? Double-edged sword with, here's a sword. Double edge. Trent Forrest is really nice when the ball's in his hands. When he's sitting in the corner and not being guarded and the Jazz are passing him the ball and he shoots it, that's where you see the weakness. So that's one of those things with Quinn sometimes I don't understand. Like, if we're going to have Trent Forrest in the game, then put the ball in his hands, because we've seen him do really nice things. When the ball's in Trent Forrest's hands, he makes plays and he sets other guys up. He didn't have a great night tonight, but he still had 4 assists. And I think they actually kind of adjusted in the second half, so he had the ball in his hands more, and you saw him do nice things. But that's what's sometimes weird with Quinn sometimes. Quinn should have either called a timeout after those first 2 or 3 plays or adjust somehow, or have Trent Forrest bring the ball up. Run the pick and roll with Trent Forrest when he's on the floor, because if he's in the corner, you're literally playing 4-on-5. So put the ball in Trent Forrest's hands. I'm a Trent Forrest fan. I think he's really nice, and I do like his defense. And that's, at the very least, that's one thing he's doing. I can't cover up the Manscaped logo. Don't do that. Manscaped logo. But anyways, Trent Forrest needs the ball in his hands. And Quinn Snyder, if he's putting him on the floor and just having him sit in the corner, that is ineffective. You might as well put in Miaoni or someone else. So if Trent Forrest is on the floor, I want the ball in his hands. And I know the Jazz have a spread system, but the Jazz do have situations where the ball's set up so that a certain player is running a pick and roll. And Trent Forrest, we've learned, is really nice running a pick and roll. So just get the ball in Trent Forrest's hands. That was just strange to me tonight. I don't know if that's Quinn or if that's players just going through the motions and trying to get through a game they know they're going to win. I don't know. Joe Ingles tonight, 6 for 10 from the field, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. He's incredible, 14 points. You just got to love Joe Ingles. He's fantastic. He had not the best first half, but he was just really solid. Jordan Clarkson, yet again, putting up a nice night. He had 4 assists. He was 8 for 18 from the field tonight, so the inverse, where his three-point shot wasn't quite falling, but his inside shot was. But I'm loving the assists from Jordan Clarkson. He's become a nice little playmaker for the Jazz, where he has the ball in his hands, and he's setting up Derek Favors and Rudy Gobert with shots. 4 assists is something I'm starting to kind of expect from Jordan Clarkson, because I feel like he's evolving. We know what he can do scoring the ball. We know he can get shots off. We know that he's, spot up 3-point shooter. He's really nice. And we know the floater game and all those different things. But he had that one play where he drives to the hoop, curls around, bounce past to Derek Favors, and bucket. That's really nice stuff, and it makes me really excited if I'm a Jazz fan with what JC's doing to evolve. That's what's going to happen in the playoffs. There's a little bit of Lou Williams to Jordan Clarkson, where in the playoffs it's not quite the same level. But if Jordan Clarkson can be a playmaker, where he can create space and then dump the ball off to Rudy Gobert, or dump the ball off to Derek Favors, or maybe even kick it out to a 3-point shooter, that's big-time stuff, because we know the Jazz can shoot the ball. Legend Morris, we got a legend on our hands. Welcome to rookie legend. Welcome to the team. We got a rookie with potential in Legend Morris. If you're a legend, you're going to show it. I know it. You're going to show it. I know it. That rhymed. Legend Morris, welcome to the channel. I appreciate it. Anyways, Jordan Clarkson's playmaking is something I'm really excited about, and it's nice to see him evolve. He's just a nice player, guys. And I feel like he can just get better and better. And I feel like he's kind of molding into that system a little bit. Whereas I think first half of the season, it was kind of like everyone runs the system and then JC does his thing. Now I think JC is starting to actually kind of mold into the Quinn Snyder system and still being super effective. And I feel like it's giving him better shots. Tonight, but like we said, he had a decent field goal percentage, 44%. Only 2 for 7 from 3, but I'll take it. 2 for 7 is not bad. You're not going to have a great shooting night every night, but at least you made 2 threes. Pretty solid stuff. You know what? Royce O'Neal, 13 points tonight, 3 for 6 from 3. That's 50% from 3 from Royce O'Neal. We're starting to see a nice trend. A nice trend for the playoffs, guys. Jonathan James photo. Better have first round against Lakers? No. No. I personally do not want to face LeBron James. Perhaps the Lakers are bad right now, but you know what I don't want to do? Roll the dice against LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I would much rather not have that. But I actually feel like so it's looking like LeBron James and and the Lakers are probably going to be facing the Golden State Warriors in that first play-in game. My money is on LeBron James and the Lakers winning that game. I'm going to give a shout out to Bill Simmons. He made me laugh. He had a segment where he talked about what referees would be reffing the Lakers if they're in the playoff game. One, Scott Foster, the most corrupt official in the NBA. Two, Flea, big time Laker fan, probably going to be a ref in that game. 3, Jack Nicholson, probably officiating that game. That was a great segment by Bill Simmons. Fantastic. Other officials probably reffing that game. Halsey, she's a big Laker fan. She might get honorary referee. It's gonna. I thought that was funny. Guess what? The Lakers are probably going to be playing the 2 seed, is my guess and my hope, because I think the Jazz are going to win out. The Jazz have a few interesting games coming up. They've got like the Blazers. And I think I can't remember who else. I think the Nuggets was their toughest one, but let's just hope the Jazz win out, because I think the Lakers are going to win that first game, and I'd much rather have the Lakers in the second round than the first, purely for pettiness, because of how many people online said the Jazz are a first round exit. That's what I would like, is the Jazz to just play the Lakers in the second round, because I think the Jazz actually can beat them. With Bogey playing like he is right now, playing fantastic, if JC can be a playmaker and be just efficient in the playoffs, fantastic. And then Donovan and Mike, can they get to that next level? We know what Joe Ingles brings. Rudy Gobert, Derek Favors will play 12 hard minutes every game. I think the Jazz can win the title. I really do. We want Audrey to referee the first round of fifth. I wouldn't mind. Be better than the officiating tonight. Mark Davis sucks. Robert Hall, Ferb and I agree. Lakers going to lose the play-ins. I mean, that's the best case scenario, guys. The Lakers just losing both. I think if the Lakers lose the first one, then they have to play a second one. And then if they lose that second one, then they're eliminated. That's the best case. First off, just because to watch the Lakers fans lose their minds. If the Lakers fans can get over being catfished earlier in the season and then lose, and then I mean, what kind of season? Actually, that's hilarious. Can you imagine the Lakers fans, literally all of Lakers Twitter getting catfished, and then losing in the play-in? I mean, that would be incredible. That would make just my life. Anyways, Robert Hall, thank you for the $1.99. I really appreciate it. I very much appreciate it. If that would be hilarious. That would be incredible. Could you imagine 1, getting catfished, and 2, losing in the play-in? That would be, a man can dream, right? A man can dream. Guys, not much else to say. The Jazz were just kind of going through the motions there. Lakers fans getting Manscaped from the playoffs. That would be DWCB. I agree. That would be so incredible. Manscaped the Lakers into oblivion. I tell you what. All right. It's that time, guys. Time to give a shout out to our All-Stars tonight. Let's get going. JT Buckets Wardell. Thank you, sir. Austin R. Grant. Eric C. Kelsey Hamer, the Hammer, Donald Schooley, schooling us all, Cody Strickland, Mitt Robach, DW to CB, Darren Williams to Carlos Boozer, Jorge Arizaga, mi amigo de abajo, Lee Christensen, I hope you travel safely, Lee, Shan Therick, Ryan Perry, the legend, Justin Ty H, Patrick Akubo, my buddy in the suite, Robert Hall, my buddy on Twitter, and DW Jazz going all the way. I saw your comment at first, DW, and it was a good one, and I appreciated it. You guys are incredible. Awesome. Let's hope the Lakers don't not only get catfished, but also get Manscaped in the play-in. But I actually much rather just have the Lakers win their first one so that they play the Suns in the first round, so that we don't have to face the Suns, and we play the Lakers in the second round, and that would be a lot of fun. I actually think the Jazz can beat the Lakers not too bad. Although, guys, I feel like you're playing pool with a hustler with that. I feel like LeBron James and AD are going to show up in the playoffs. It scares me. And the Lakers still have a pretty decent defense this year, even without LeBron and AD. That's a team that's like, nah, I'm not going to count them out at all. I really am not. Furby Jr., the Jazz win the chip. I shaved my beard with Manscaped. Just make sure you use the promo code HoopsNerd, Furby Jr. Make sure you use that HoopsNerd promo code. Guys, That's all I've got tonight. Make sure if you're new to the channel that you like and subscribe. And if you want to join the chat or receive some of the perks, join the channel. The button's right down there. I would appreciate it. And remember, guys, go to manscaped.com, use promo code HoopsNerd, and buy yourself the best shaver money can buy. Waterproof. I love it. I use it in the shower. I actually use it all the time. I actually really do love it. I am a Manscaped guy forever. It's fantastic. Guys, you guys are amazing. I appreciate it. I will talk to you next time.